Hi there, I'm going to be talking about getting and setting state in Svelte. So normally what you would do, well first let me show you what I have here. It's a box, this is a card, and inside it there's a button. Right now it doesn't do anything. I just have it here, increment count. So on click it's going to increment count and we want this number to go up. So here's increment count in card. Here's the CSS, very beautiful. We got a count of 0. But we also have this count here, which is what we actually want to use. So normally what you would do to get this to work is you'd have your card and you would pass the props to it. So for example, I'm going to pass count equals count, and I'm going to also pass this increment function. So increment count equals increment count. Okay, and then here I'm going to have to accept those. So export let count equals 0. So this will be overridden by this count. And if we don't want a default, we could just delete it like that, which I think is a good idea. And then export let increment count. Oops. So that'll accept the increment count from here, that function. And then to the button, we're going to have to pass. So we're using count right here. The button doesn't need to know about count, but it does need to know about increment count equals, oops, increment count. Oh boy. Okay, so now here, rather than declaring it itself, we're going to do export let increment count so that it can accept that function. So you see it is incrementing the count, but it's a bit, what's the word, cumbersome to pass, you're passing count down to card. That's fine, but then it gets a bit annoying when you have to pass increment count down to card and then pass increment count through card down to button, even though card doesn't actually use increment count. So one thing you can do, sort of like the context API in React, here we can import set context from Svelte. And this is going to let you sort of define a global variable is basically what it is. And here at the end, I'm going to set context. So that you're going to put a key, and I would just suggest making it the same name as whatever you're setting, and then what you're going to set it to, so increment count. So this puts it in the sort of this set context store or whatnot. So now this is accessible to any of the components. So I don't need to pass it here anymore, and I don't even need this here in card because it doesn't use it, and it doesn't need to pass it either. And button can just directly right here import. So here, rather than set context, you're going to do get context, import get context from Svelte. And then rather than accepting it as a prop, you're just going to say let increment count equal get context increment count. So that's going to get the function. So here you're setting it, and then you're just kind of doing the opposite thing, and you're just getting the context there. Invalid package name Svelte with oops, okay. Okay, and so should work, and there you go. And that's how the setting and getting context works in Svelte.